Oh my gosh, I can't believe she made me buy that RV here in town. I could have got it for cheaper in Dallas.
I'm here. I
Hi.
heard you.
Saying thank you for letting me buy that RV here. Hey everybody, welcome to 54 Nights RV. Today we're going to talk a little bit about why we ended up buying our motorhome locally, and maybe talk about a few reasons why not to buy local. And I think first and foremost, the main reason we bought local was because we found a good deal on the motorhome. I mean, really. We had...
Actually, best deal in the nation, and I looked.
She looked.
Yeah.
And I believed her. We had, leading up to buying a motorhome, we had discussed going down to Dallas or down to Fort Worth, Alvarado.
And we went to the Dallas shows,
Yeah.
along with the local shows.
Yeah, and honestly, the competition is better down in the Dallas Metroplex area than up here in Oklahoma City. There's just not a lot of competition up here in Oklahoma City, and when you don't have a lot of competition, you don't necessarily have to come down very far on
They're
your
not going to
prices.
give as much.
Yeah, and they don't. They, believe me, around here it's you've got to come across the deal.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really going to give a whole lot. I mean, they do give, but not as much as they give down in Dallas.
Yeah, you start talking about, prices and stuff here, you're more likely to get kind of laughed at and say, well, you just can't get that. Go down to Dallas and you can ask for less, and you'll say you'll give less, and they'll be just fine with it.
And if you live in a small market like we do, it may be beneficial to look in some of the larger markets, Tampa or Dallas, even out in California. You can get some good deals out there. I mean, you can find some really good deals online, and there are ways to work with the dealers remotely.
And it'd be fun to buy one from a long ways away and then drive back with it.
Yeah, I think next one we'll just buy it out in California.
Yeah.
That way we
Make a
have to drive it
vacation.
home.
Yeah, I like that.
Another reason for buying locally is warranty work.
Big reason.
The RV industry is different than the automobile industry, where, if a Ford or a Chevy dealership, they're kind of a franchise operation. So if you bring your car into that dealership to be worked on, they have an obligation to work on it, regardless of whether you bought that vehicle from them. RV industry does not work that way. And in most cases, if the dealership agrees to do the warranty work on your camper and you didn't buy from them, you will be moved to the back of the line. They are going to service their own customers first.
Which makes sense from a business point of view for them.
Yeah.
And encourage you even maybe use them and buy from them the next time.
And part of that, I'm sure what plays into part of that motivation is the little money wars that go on between the dealerships and the manufacturers. It's going to cost me this much to fix that, and the manufacturer says, no, it's not going to cost you that much, it's going to cost you this. And they do this little bidding war for every little cabinet scratch. And
definitely not like a car.
Yeah, they don't make a whole lot of money on warranty repairs. They really would prefer not to do warranty repairs. So when you bring a camper in from you bought it from somebody else, they're going to balk on it. And I have heard a lot of cases where they just, no, we're full, ain't got time, move on down the road. So, that's, for a lot of folks, that's a good reason to buy local. Now, if you're a full timer, that's has an impact, but not as big of an impact. If we had bought our Fleetwood down in Alvarado, we would have to go down to Alvarado to get the warranty work done on it. And when you buy a new coach, that first year, you're going to have some warranty work to be done. A lot, a little, who knows? But you are going to have it done. So is it worth driving 300 or 400 miles a couple of times, down there and back, for $5,000 to $10,000 savings? I mean, that's a personal decision.
And it's a lot of gas money too, whether you're towing or driving it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of gas money.
And shopping. Terry and I did do a lot of shopping out of town. I mean, physical shopping. I'm not talking internet shopping. You can sit here and eat Cheetos and drink Mountain Dews and do internet shopping all night long.
Yeah,
and
we
not
have
get
lots
tired.
of walkthroughs. You can look through all our walkthroughs.
But we did go down to Alvarado, Texas. We did go down to Dallas. Seems like there's a couple other cities we've been to and looked at RVs just because we like to travel. We've got an RV, so it kind of makes sense. But
Alvarado's fun. I mean, I don't know how they are as far as, if you purchase one or the warranty work, but I know when you go to look around, they'll give you a golf cart. They won't take you around. I mean, unless you want them to, they'll give you a golf cart and you can just drive around and look at all the RVs. It's fun too.
Yeah. Enjoyable place. It's a good place to shop for.
Huge inventory.
Oh yeah.
Huge.
Fleetwoods, Thors, and they've got the high dollar models locked up where you have to borrow a salesman to look at them. But yeah, shopping around. We've got a handful, a very small handful. I would say a 7-year-old's handful of RV dealerships here around Oklahoma City, and it's pretty easy to get up and just drive 15-20 miles to go look at an RV that you've been looking at online.
And even our shows aren't very, you don't get much inventory at our shows.
No, you don't. But that's most of the time you have to deal with a salesman, when you go in shopping. But it's a little bit easier to stomach if it's right here local. You can shop local and buy out of town. You see one online and think, I like that floor plan, let's go look at it. Well, they've got one here at the dealership about 15 miles away. You don't have to buy from them.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases, those salesmen will run you off where you don't want to buy from them.
That's happened.
Yeah. Yes, it has. And another reason to buy local is the purchasing process itself. Like I mentioned earlier, this is not like buying a car. When we bought ours, we went to the dealership 3 times before we left with it. Is that right? Excuse me.
That's probably right.
We saw what they had in stock and we went there and looked at it. And then we had to go home and talk about it and look around and see if it was a good deal. We had the gut feel that it was an awesome deal, but we wanted to come home and make sure.
It was a 1-year-old new model.
Yeah.
That's why it was such a good deal.
And then, we made the phone call, told them, I think we want this thing.
And our offer.
Yeah. And then you go up there and you do the haggling thing. it wasn't a whole lot of haggling with us. We knew what we were going to pay for it, and we knew what they wanted to throw in for it. But regardless of all that, that's a different story. But you know, get the whole financing business rolling, and you come home, you know, with a car, you know,
Come home with the car.
you come home with the car that day. It doesn't take them, you know, 20 minutes to get the financing for you if you're not already financed with your local bank that you went through prior. But not so much with an RV purchase.
At least not this time. I think with our pop-up we went home with it, and
No.
it sure didn't seem like it was that
Well,
much of a...
well, with the pop-up, we dealt with them on the phone.
Okay.
We did that remote thing.
And that's an option. That's a pretty neat option.
Yeah. I mean, we did, I say we, she did all the dealing over the phone, and we told them what day we would be out there with the money. I mean, there wasn't any financing on their end of it or anything. We just told the guy we bought it off of, we'll be out there, you know, Friday afternoon with
Check in hand.
yeah, with the money in our hand. And you know, that was the first time we saw this salesman, who I believe was also the owner. It was a small town operation, and gave him the money. He gave us the title, and we took off running.
It was quite a bit different.
Yeah, and
Experience.
but with this one, you know, you go up there, you get the finance ball rolling, and then it's a lot shorter than buying a house, but it's kind of has the same kind of feel to it, I guess. Then a couple of days later, he gives you a call, and you know, you schedule a time to come in and sign all the papers and get the RV. So, you know, that's 3 trips. If we had bought this thing out of town, I don't know that we could have cut it down to 1 trip. It may have been 2. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the process when we're buying these, you know, high dollar campers that we couldn't quite pay cash for. But yeah, it was that 3rd trip that we brought it home. So it wouldn't have stopped us from buying out of town if we had found one in Dallas or Alvarado or Fort Worth, wherever.
It's certainly something to think about, though.
Yeah, it is something to consider. A lot of miles on your vehicle to go back and forth.
Possibly time off work.
Yeah. Skipping out on work for a day or two, which kind of counterintuitive, considering you're spending
a lot of money.
and you're gonna forego earning some money. Yeah, but I mean, and you'll see it on the message boards, and you know, on some of these videos from other folks, that they will preach to you about, you know, you go find the deal and you do the traveling to get it. I mean, it's a camper, so obviously you have some desire to travel, or at least I would hope.
If not, you might want to rethink this.
You may want to reconsider. But there is no right answer. You don't open up a textbook on this and, you know, chapter 14 says buy from out of town, or, you know, buy new or buy used. You know, it's all individual decisions, just being able to weigh out all your options. Are you willing to drive 300 or 400 miles to go through the buying process, and then again for warranty coverage?
And really, everybody's experience is going to be somewhat different.
Yeah. If we had bought this Fleetwood down in Dallas, over the course of the year that we've owned that coach, it would have been 1, 2, 4 trips to Dallas and back just for warranty work. So
But we're done with that.
yeah, we're done with that. The warranty's expired. So that's 2,400, 3,000 miles that putting on the vehicle and take care of warranty work. Is that worth 10 grand of savings? I don't know. I mean,
And time.
Yeah, I can't answer that question for you, and partially because I'm not sure I can answer it for myself either. It would take some noodling on that one.
And time, because you take off work for a couple hours, come home, pick up the camper, take it up to the shop, and go back to work, where that's not really going to work if you're driving to Dallas to drop off your camper for warranty work.
If you had let me buy that BRZ, I really can't drive the camper that fast down there though, so it's really never mind. Yeah, that's about it. A lot of unanswered questions, I know, but it is a personal decision.
Well,
it really is.
You've also got the issue of if it's there longer, you're living in it. I mean, that's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, and that falls on the full timers that
I guess it's better to be able to live in it than have to drive home if you're not a full timer,
Yeah,
though, if it's being
or
worked on.
to get a hotel room for a few
Right.
days, and that's where it comes into play, where you really need to dig in and find out what kind of service department your dealership has. They're not going to tell you, period. Well, it's going to take about as long as it usually, but we got to turn around pretty, and can I get you a cup of coffee?
Yeah, and any promises they make to you, get it in writing. And I mean, I'm not saying that's even going to do any good, but it might make you feel better to get it in writing and be able to show it to them when they.
Yeah, so really you've got to do your research online, which this wonderful world of internet will help you out. Dig in, find out what people are saying about the service department at that dealership. You may find that they may have the best deal in town and it takes them 3 weeks to fix a broken cabinet.
And then they don't fix it right.
Yeah. and the dealership in most cases is going to blame the manufacturer because they're not getting them the parts or blah 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 whatever.
And if you were able to get hold of the manufacturer, I'm sure the manufacturer would also blame the dealership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is an important aspect, and it actually could determine whether you buy local or you buy out of town. Maybe all of your local dealerships ain't worth 2 shakes, and you find one out of town that has great service department. It may be worth it. It may be worth those few extra miles.
Just go into it open-minded. Just think about, things that you might not think about if you've never bought one before. That's what we're hoping to do, is to be able to share our experiences and maybe help you in deciding if, that's worth it to you or not. Very well may be, and it very well may be for us in the future. Just something to, and it's also less frustrating if you kind of know about it going in.
Yeah. Because it can be frustrating.
Yeah.
Little crack in the paint taking 3 weeks for
We're
me to fix.
not going there.
Right.
It's okay. It's all right.
I'm sorry. I'll try to let it go. Anyhow, guys, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you like it. If you don't, give us a thumbs down.
No, don't give us a thumbs down. Just
And, if you give me a thumbs down, tell me why. But
it's mean. There's too much meanness in the world. Don't be mean.
got any questions? Shoot a comment down below. we'll try to answer them, and we may even try to answer them honestly. Who knows? It just depends on what time of day it is.
What mood we're in.
Yeah. Check out the rest of the content on the channel. We've got a whole slew of RV walkthroughs from this year's RV shows. Of course, what will be our standard hiking videos and paddleboarding and kayaking and stupid dog tricks and
just playing, just having fun.
Yeah, just enjoying life.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we got it.
Okay.
We'll catch y'all next time around.